What's up, BlisstOut family? A little bit of music to get us started. Sweet sounds. I'm gonna do my best. That's a song by One Republic, Life in Color. I always like to put a little bit of creativity, music, and wellness into our moments. And today we'll be welcoming to our show is Denzel. I've come across this beautiful human being all the way now out in England from another amazing friend, Ashley. And this is part of the team that's growing with BlisstOut. So today we want to welcome you, Denzel, into the BlisstOut community, BlisstOut show on our BlisstOut network, and all the other pages that are going to be able to see you and hear a little about who you are, your story, and what you have to offer.
Perfect. Can't wait to talk. Good to meet
Awesome.
everybody. So
viewers, just a heads up, me and Denzel, like I said, I've been connected through another friend, Ashley.
yeah,
And he's an amazing human being who just had unbelievable synchronicities with me, birthdays, lifelines, a lot of stuff, and even dream states that are helping me along my path. And also somebody that he loves a lot is this beautiful man, Denzel, right here. And we're going to devour Denzel because Denzel's on a journey with mastery, and he seems to open up a really big door with abundance where he is right now, and we want to hear about it. So Denzel, tell us a little bit about how you got started with web design, because you're now going to be my web designer and have the ability to play around with that and apps, and a little bit about your story.
Oh, okay. So I got started with like web design from a friend called like Danny. Well, he didn't get me into web design. He got me into like web development. So, because I saw it, I remember we were at school together, and I was like, I was wondering kind of what he was doing on his computer, because like he was never at school. You know what I mean? He was like always like, yeah, I just got like a one-way ticket to, I don't know, like somewhere in South America. And he was like, I'll just buy another ticket when I want to come back. I was like, what are you doing to be able to do that? And he told me he was like, he builds websites. I was like, all right, you know what? I want to give this a go, because I thought it was like really cool and interesting. So he would kind of like teach me little bits, or like I'd be at home, I'd be going to like this thing called like W3 schools, and it's like a platform for like learning how to do web development, things like that. So I did that for a little bit, and then like I think like a year later or something like that, I ended up getting a job at this company back here in Northampton in England, and it was called like JDM, and there I ended up doing web design. Like my boss, he asked me, like, look, you're doing graphic design for us anyways, like why don't you have a go at making this website, right? Because that's what I originally went there to do. I was doing like kind of just the whole like media in general, so like doing graphics for social media, for just anything. And we're doing YouTube graphics as well. Like I had to learn how to do like things in like Adobe Premiere and like After Effects and things like that. So it kind of just encompassed all of it. And then I realized, wait, I like doing websites. So I started to design websites. I didn't really code them much after that, to be honest. I just started solely designing websites, and I ended up having a crack at doing that as just to start off my business, because obviously my business is a bit different now, but that was like how it started off. I was just doing designer for people.
What year was that? That was that just recently, or how long has this been now?
That was, I think, a year ago, actually. A year ago, yeah. Well, that's when I still do web design, because I've literally actually recently, like in fact at the start of this month in January, I did 2 different web designs for for some clients, and then I built the websites. So I still do it, but up until like I'd say like a year ago, that was like my main thing, which I still do though. Yeah.
And so you're moving a lot into more apps right now, and having the ability.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing more now. Like I'm designing and I'm also coding apps. So because I met a guy like a year ago back in November, from a friend also, which is it's actually Ashley knows him as well. It's we have a friend called Harvey, and his brother put me in touch with this American guy called Roy, and he has an app company, and he was like, look, if you can learn how to build apps, I'll give you some jobs. And I was like, you know what, let me try it, you know. So I just ended up learning how to build apps, and like just over a year later, that's what I've been doing.
So you're
And
how
like
old?
designing
20,
too.
20, 25, 24, 22?
No, 23.
23. So even just since what?
Oh wait, sorry, wait. I'm 24. I don't know why I said 23.
So
I don't know why.
you're 23 and you are so
No,
ambitious.
24, 24.
24. You're 24 and you're so ambitious. It looks like you felt the power of money in, what was it, in college from this person, or was it high school? The guy that
I was in college, yeah.
Okay, so college, it started, you saw that he was able to travel places. It interests you to make a skill set better and to have a system, and then to be able to offer now in your own business. And now we're colliding and we're finding ways where we can support each other and get to know each other more. That's pretty powerful for your age. And I think community, when you're watching this, the biggest thing that I love about leading anything is youth. You know, when we have the ability to learn that we can live our dreams here and now. That's why I want people to see you, Denzel, because you know you're already flowering and you're so fearless. Even just get on this podcast with me. I'm on the other side of the world. We're creating these joint venture agreements. You're jumping in, you're swimming. You know, anyone who's out there that has kids, guys, I want you all to watch and feel the determination that Denzel has, because the more they get excited when we go into this design. I've been creating the content. I haven't been delaying this because I'm more in a flow state. I got a lot of new photos I got to do. There's a lot of, for the marketplace, for the network. And Denzel, you've been so patient with me. But, you know, the reason why I want to have this ability to also, for people to see the vulnerability behind what it takes to do what you do, is that every day you wake up, there's a vulnerability to wake up to, you know, and you're hungry.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, it is not an easy thing to do, like, every morning. And I feel like I've been finding that out more recently as well, to be honest with you, just because, like, doing what I do, you're constantly in front of a screen all day, and, like, things like struggles do arise from that. Like, you'll get a lot of headaches, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're just so focused, which is, I do this a lot. I get too focused and I forget to eat. You know what I mean? I forget to get up and go get some food, you know? And sometimes, because you're sitting down for such long periods of time, like, your back, it just gets really weak. So then you have to make sure you're exercising, making sure that you're keeping, like, your back healthy, you know what I mean? Make sure you're strengthening and things like that. And you just gotta kind of, those are just things you're gonna have to go through, I guess, if you're trying to do web design, app development, web development, things like that. Like, you gotta be prepared to sit here for long periods of time, just looking at your computer, pretty much.
Well, that's where the yoga and the wellness in our community. My sister sits on her ball, and you know, as a coach, she teaches people to sit on a yoga ball because it automatically creates core strength, right? So hopefully they can pick up some of those tips from her, and that we have also, you know, on this journey. I want the community to see you grow with us. I also want the community to feel, whoever sees this now or even later on, you know, empower youth, empower people that have the power, because you have all this energy, you know, and you're so open and available, and you just grabbed it. So that's why I'm excited for you. And that's why I'm able to say, okay, even though we haven't finalized something to visually sell somebody, you showing up along with Ashley's confidence in you and some of the work that I've seen you already done, I'm excited just to empower and to be empowered by you, because you do empower me weekly. You do, just by being.
These are good for me as well. I love, like, doing these, even like just talks, because, like, it's all just positive energy all the time. You know what I mean? I like that. You need positivity around you. You know, like,
so good.
It's always better.
So what are your long-term goals with this? Do you have any of those yet? Do you feel
that
yet?
No, I thought about this kind of a lot. I do obviously I love doing apps. I have a couple of things that I'm working on for like myself, and because obviously I run it like with a partner, and me and Anand, like he's my business partner in it, so like we decided like we want to make our own kind of apps as well, rather than just always like do client stuff. So we've been working on kind of our own projects. We got a few that we're looking to put out soon. But like real long term, I'd say that I want to move away and like focus more on kind of tech in general and like just more innovation type stuff, just stuff that's going to, rather than benefit me, benefit other people, because it's cool creating some that, you know, I don't know, like a cool platform, because that's what I'm trying to do, right? A platform for like other like users and things that are like me, like developers. But I want to do something that's going to actually impact people's kind of lives more, if you know what I mean. And do like something that's actually going to be worthwhile to people. So I want to get more into tech and do something that's like maybe, because I really have like a super interest in AI. So I'm trying to think of like different way I can like build an AI that's going to benefit maybe the environment or just in people's lives in general, something like that.
That's amazing. Well, we got your
Just
back because
hope,
we have a lot. We have a lot to open up with wellness. There's a lot coming
yeah,
in the network also for helping environment, climate change.
yeah,
Um,
that's one of my things that I want to
Climate
like
change
work
is like
out.
such a huge topic, and if we can use
Yeah,
technology to have more resources for recycling and even
yeah,
child labor is another huge thing. I'm so done with, a lot of the companies are just using children, and whatever we can do to support is talking about it. And there's more coming soon in the
yeah,
BlisstOut network on that area. We got a couple different vegan advocates that are going to help nurture us with farming and some of those wisdoms. So I love how you have the opportunity here to grow with us. And I'm excited. Who has inspired you? And what type of connections are helping you to thrive other than my network right now? And who's really inspired you? Was it that young guy in
um,
college or anybody else?
oh, do you mean like real people that I've met, not rather than like just
Well,
people
both. This is like when you think about
yeah,
inspiring, like for
yeah,
me, when it's music, it's like Celine Dion.
yeah,
But then I also think about my father and my mother at certain
yeah.
points. So tell us about
Um,
who's inspiring you.
okay, so first of all, I'll start with like the figures of just people I don't know. So like business inspirations and people that I think are doing what I want to do is probably Elon Musk. Like I like the way he's doing things. He's doing it like more of, he's just making whatever he wants. You know what I mean? In terms of like something that's actually going to benefit people of humanity long term. He's trying to do something. It may not be like the greatest solution in the world, but he's trying to do something, and he's doing whatever he wants. Basically, he's free to do that, and I kind of really like the aspect of like being free to do, you know, those type of things that are going to benefit people. So business wise, I'd say he's my inspiration. Out of people I do know, there's a couple of people. So one, there's the person that I'm working with, also Roy, the one that got me into the iOS development and things like that. I just because I'm seeing him what he's doing with his own business and things like that, and like, because that's kind of where I want to get to. So seeing kind of learning from him how business really works rather than just like building apps is like so valuable, because I'm kind of learning how to, I guess, maneuver in that world, you know, rather than just being the guy who makes the app and hands it over to somebody, you know. Um, but also like my friends, because every one of like Ashley, all of them, like my friend Akil, Calvin, all that, like we're all doing something in terms of like we're trying to make our own lives. You know what I mean? No one's settling for anything, and like seeing everybody kind of do that is like super like inspiring. So it kind of pushes me to do a lot, if you know what I mean. Pushes me to do more, so that just gives me inspiration, because everyone's trying to do something amazing to me. You know what I mean? And I kind of really respect that out of like everyone. So I'm like super grateful for the friendship group that I've actually got, because I know like it's, you know, a lot of people don't always have that. But yeah, like those would be the people.
And you're doing some work too on building that business thing. So we talked about business. I really like how you stressed on not just creating apps, but also understanding how business works. Because I know you putting some
Yeah,
effort into building your Instagram page, setting goals for
yeah,
attraction, learning how to maneuver other things. I think there's a great area there to
yeah,
grow while you grow with us, because that's what I've been doing
yeah,
for a long time. You know, how to build numbers, and you got to be patient with that. But it's
yeah,
things that
definitely.
just work.
Yeah, honestly, like I was struggling for a long time, especially like after uni. I mean, after I left the job at JDM, it was a struggle because I wasn't, my Instagram has changed a lot over the couple of years into different things. But I was struggling to make real, like, I guess, valuable content. I was putting stuff up, but I wasn't really getting any followers. I was really struggling and I was like barely surviving, to be honest. And I changed it all up. Luckily, I met Roy and he helped me out. So I didn't really focus on Instagram for a while. But then back in, well, I think September, I was like, I like, let me rebrand this whole thing. Like, let me rebrand it and let me get somebody. Like, I got my friend Anand because we met on LinkedIn and he's a developer also. And I was like, all right, do you want to do this with me? And like, we can just try, like, build something together. You know what I mean? So we worked on creating some content and we put some out, which was cool. It wasn't really like obviously getting crazy followers just because, I mean, we hadn't like figured out how to go about it yet. We're just making content, if you know what I mean. So in December, I was like, I need to try something different. And in my mind, I needed like a boost, right? I needed something to boost me to get me over this hurdle. And then after that, I knew that I would be within, I guess, the developer scene on Instagram, right? And I found this guy. I was like, okay, look. I was like, do you do like, because I'm seeing you post a bunch of like other developers. Like, how does that work, right? And he was like, yeah, no, I just post like a story and post like on my actual Instagram page as well. It was like, does it like, I found like one guy who did it for free, one guy's like for £20. I was like, no, I'll give you £20. Just post me and see what happens, right? I was like, I wasn't even expecting much out of it because I did the free one and I only got like 5 followers. And then I gave this other guy 20, and after I got like like just 100. It wasn't like loads. It was just like 100 followers from it. And then I was like, wait, I can use this like momentum now to actually start engaging with the community so that I make sure like my account gets ranked. And so like when people search, like they see me amongst these other top developers. So I just put like, I started making content that was about how to learn programming rather than just posting a like me programming something, you know what I mean? So or posting a picture of a website. I did two different things. I was like, okay, let me post these up on how to learn the language or like explainers, and then I posted pictures like I mean videos of me like rebuilding stuff. Like at the minute I'm rebuilding Spotify and I'm putting it on Instagram for people to see, and then I started making stories of like other people in the community that had like the same followers as me, so we could help each other out and grow. And then since December, I was at like barely 200 followers. Now I've almost reached 1,000, like
Cool.
in like the last 2-3 months.
Wow.
So it's working, you know what I mean? It's just like giving people like real value and engaging with people more in the community, and then we all just uplift each other, literally.
I love the growth. I love the
Yeah,
success, and just keep riding that wave. Um,
yeah.
and so, what is the process of setting up a website or an app? You know, what to expect? Tell us a little bit about it, because I'm just going to go through that with you anyways. You can talk a little bit about that.
So a website and app kind of just gives you more of I guess a more of an identity. It depends on the type of one that you're doing, but it gives rather than just have like an Instagram of I don't know, like of your face, of you, of your content. Like Instagram just I mean, a website kind of gives the people a place like to offer more value, right? So you can be like, okay, cool. Like if you're trying to sell something, because Instagram is your face, and then your website is more of like your product, if you know what I mean. Like you can be selling stuff on there. It gives you a place to kind of fully control what's happening, Because on Instagram, you can't control everything. You can see a certain aspect of it, but if you're selling on Instagram, you know Instagram's going to be taking part of that cut. They're going to be like you might put something up and then it gets banned, it gets, you know, reported or something, and it's gone. So with your website, it kind of just gives you the free space to put any content that you really want, and it gives you a whole like control of what goes on into that space. Whereas other platforms, you don't really get that.
So good.
Same with like an app.
Yeah, so app is a little bit more geared towards specifically everything from a website, do you think, or more general?
Everything really from a website, just because an app is great because it's on the go, if you know what I mean. And I will always prefer to go on an app version of something rather than like the web mobile version of it. Because while the web mobile version is good, an app is what's designed and optimized for like your phone more, if you know what I mean. It's more about the experience on that. Like, because a lot of, I guess, websites on your phone can be a bit glitchy in a way, just because there's so many different browsers that you really need to make sure that whatever you're coding works on like every single browser. You know what I mean? So
or like Chrome or like Google or sorry.
Yeah, like Chrome, Brave, Safari, all of that. Because I've been on a website before and I've gone onto it like on a different browser and it bugs out. It doesn't look the same as it did on the other ones. Like with a mobile version, it's just a lot cleaner. You're not going to have those specific mistakes, if you know what I mean, because it's designed. Because I mean, like, there's only really two, I guess, platforms you can really say for like phone OSs. You either have an Android or you have like an iPhone. So it's pretty easy to make sure that you're developing and your app looks perfect on those OSs.
So do you think that you're going to run into any trouble too with that area? Like, will an app be able to show you everything a website would?
Yeah. I can show you anything.
Can show you anything? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Because I know both, but I also know I didn't know if there's any limitations. So I didn't. I mean, you're looking from a smaller screen.
The only limitation that you have is that, like, I guess when you build a website, you know it's always going to be like on every device because it's just on, you know, it's on the internet. With the apps, it's more like you have to upload it to an app store, and sometimes you might only be able to. Well, I guess it depends on things like, because a lot of people come to me and they talk about like, like budget wise, and sometimes people only have like a budget for putting it onto one device, right? Like they only want the iOS version, but there are ways around that. Like obviously there's different languages that can suit both. Like JavaScript is great because like if you're doing something in React Native, like you can code for both, so it's, you know, it's not an issue. But sometimes the developer, for example, if you're doing like, I don't know, Flutter or something, like it might just be Android, but you can also do iOS. So it just depends, because sometimes you might be limited to just one platform, depending on the situation. But with a website, you know, it's always going to be there.
Those are interesting things. Those would be really good little videos for you to do. If you're going to get in here, you're going to do
Might do it.
Now that we're exploring this, I love how things can just get created in a moment. And before all this, you did your university or college, well, England, obviously.
Yeah.
And what did you do that in?
I did that. I did like a bachelor's of science for like an audio engineering course. Like it covered everything, to be honest. It was like film stuff, like film sound. You did stuff like with anechoic chambers, which is like that was like my favorite part of it with anechoic chambers. They're chambers basically where some of them like the quietest places on earth. So like you can go in there, you'll literally hear the blood rushing through your own body. They're that quiet. They're meant to just absorb all sounds. So like you could do a lot of cool testing in them. So like some people test jet engines in semi-anechoic chambers and things like that.
That's really cool.
It was like a wide range of like just sound in general that we studied.
Wow. Yeah. I have a friend out in India that actually does that. He makes silent rooms, soundproof silent rooms, so people can connect with themselves more. So
Yeah,
cool.
it's good.
So now that we're here, your business is fully running right now. Do you have any offers for the BlisstOut network that you want to offer? Like maybe a free consultation or?
Yeah, I'm happy to do free consultations with people. We can talk about kind of the ideas, what people want to do, the best way to go about it. I can give you like obviously a lot of free advice on just how to approach that, just because obviously doing these things, you learn more as you do them about like best practices. If you know me, because I remember when I was first like doing it, you run into issues like, oh, we should have got this ready first. Because like one thing about apps I realized is like like a lot of people don't really know the setups, because setting up like iOS compared to Android is so different. Like you have to go through different like steps to do it, and same with websites. There's a lot of steps to that you need to kind of think about before you actually started writing code. So like, I'm happy to do any consultations with people and discuss things like that with them.
And you have a website, you have an app?
Yeah, we have a website. Do you have that? Do you want me to send it to you? It's
Yeah, you can message us, but tell us here, just tell us
yeah, okay. It's hubbleapps.com basically. Wait, let me get that up and just check that.
Can you show it on the screen?
Yeah, I'm gonna try show it actually. How would I do that?
Or we can just put it down in the dropout menu so people can just check it out. And now that everybody has an offer, I want to say thank you, Denzel, because we're building this relationship week by week. I've been integrating a whole lot for this event, and I'd love to have you talk more at the event in April. So prep up more and come live and let us know more about maybe a wonderful system that you have to offer us with web design and all those steps that you're talking about. Maybe you can just in a half an hour prepare those steps to share with our community. We'd love to have you there. So ladies and gentlemen, just get ready. I'll be promoting this for the next month. That's Denzel. Check out his website. We'll link it below after you guys have a chance to see this. I'm so grateful to connect with you. I'm excited to continue on this journey of making my new website with you and to have this joint venture with you.
Great. I can't wait to do it. It's going to be amazing when we do it. So
yes, and I'm just almost done with all that content. And to sign us off, Life in Color with One Republic, Creativity, Music, and Wellness, BlisstOut Network. Support young, amazing energy. I'm so excited to support more and for more voices to come on the network. Thank you, Denzel.
Thank you.
To find some kind of clue, I'm giving it some heart and soul.
Heart and soul, baby. Thank you.